of Tasmania tour. I hope you can hear me alright over the loudness of my van. So I'm currently in the northwest region of Tasmania. I've arrived on the boat at Devonport, made it to my auntie's place at Ulverston, where I stayed a night, and then I spent the next day doing a bit of shopping, stocking up on food, that kind of thing. Yesterday afternoon I headed towards Stanley and the Nut. I'm currently on a bit of a tourist route in the Akin area. Not exactly sure where I am, but a couple of motorbikes just whizzed past me, so it looks like it's a good motorbike track at least, or road. Oh, big bend here. It's quite the bend. And so my plan is to cover as much as I can of Tasmania. That's why I've called it the Four Corners Tasmanian Tour. What have we got here? Please drive carefully. Wildlife uses this road. I shall. So it's a bit of work filming all this. A lot of stopping and starting. We're calling the what? Driving towards my camera, driving away from my camera. You know, it's how I get shots like this. Crazy stuff. Anyway folks, as I said, this is my Four Corners Tasmanian tour, and I hope to see as much as I can, and I hope to film as much as I can. I certainly won't be doing any projects for a while, but stick around, I hope you enjoy it. We're on a barge on a nice wide river. And we are crossing the Hyman River. Beautiful river. Haven't quite made it to Strahan. Once I get off here, I'm going to find the first place that I can pull into and set up camp for the night. So that's what's been flying around in my rear view mirror all this time. It's a very large bee, it's like a bumblebee. Let's see if we can get him out. I'll do some filming. I'm in second gear, going up a hill. Ooh, Cradle Mountain view, 200 metres on the left. Let's have a look at that. Look out, 200 metres, hey? I've got to walk 200 metres? PCT. I don't think this is the Pacific Crest Trail in North America. You can see several mountains in the distance and a nice big lake. There's a lovely lake. Have a look at this vista. Big wide open plains here and power lines. The road snaking to Cradle Mountain. Speaking of which, that's where I got to get to. Cradle Mountain.
Slide right to stay on Cradle Mountain Road.
G'day folks, this is God. No, I'm just kidding, it's me, Mark. Well, you thought I was going to Cradle Mountain, didn't you? So did I. As it turns out, and which I don't clearly explain in some upcoming footage, is that I actually did go back the next day after my little stay at overnight at Lake Gardner. But it turned out it was an absolutely terrible day. I got up there and Cradle Mountain was basically shrouded in a cloud, and I thought, well, that's not going to be any good for images. So I thought, I'll come back one day in the future and do Cradle Mountain. It wasn't that important. And so I turned around, re-travelled that 30 kilometres, which became another 30 kilometres, which became 60 kilometres out of my way, and I headed towards the Great Lakes. But I did have a wonderful overnight stay at Lake Gardner. Beautiful place. So at this point you may want to choose to pause, go and grab yourself a coffee, a beverage of some kind. You may have earned it by now. But continue watching. Thank you. Well, this looks like a lovely place to set up camp for the night. I'm on a lovely lake called Lake Gardner, free camping area. Plenty of other people here in various modes of transport. There's a river that runs into this lake, and all those beautiful little river spots were taken. And pretty much around the edge are taken, so I thought I'd come up here up the back. And I do have the backdrop of the lake. Once again, beautiful and calm Tasmanian weather. I'm 30 kilometres from Cradle Mountain. Of course, there's nowhere you can van camp there that I could find in a pinch. And I'm actually 30 kilometres on the other side towards where I would be moving on from Cradle Mountain. So in order to have a look at Cradle Mountain tomorrow, I've got to go back 30 kilometres, spend a bit of time at Cradle Mountain, and then redrive that 30 kilometres and beyond towards more to the centre, to the lake area, where it's highly possible I'll spend more than a night. I'll research that one a little bit better. However, there is a river just here and a lake. I'm sure I could get the rod out and have a go. But as usual at this time of day, first thing I'm going to do is sit back and enjoy my coffee on my camp chair.